Hi everyone. I just wanted to share a video of me doing a layout using some distress inks. And this is something I've tried a couple of times and I really like the effect. Basically, I am using some letters, some alpha stickers that I'm not crazy about. They're kind of, I think they're cork. I've used them a couple of times, but I am not absolutely in love with them. So what I'm using them for is just to get like a negative effect with the distress inks. So you can see how this is going to work as we go. So I'm just using the letters to mark the place on the page, and I'm going to use the distress inks over them. And then at the end, I'm going to remove the letters. So I'm trying not to push them down too hard because I don't want to rip the page when I take off the stickers. And I'm just using the guidelines. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but the guidelines on the journaling side, there's some lines there even though they're pretty faint. They come in handy when you're doing lettering, and even hand lettering. I find that the lines are really helpful. When I was first looking for a journaling Bible, I was trying to find one that had no lines in it, and I'm so glad that I ended up getting one that has lines. I don't even know if they come without lines, but I didn't find any. So the colors that I'm using, they are Tim Holtz Distress inks, and they're just the minis, which I find are more than enough. I started with a couple of the big ink pads and loved them, and I was hesitant to try the minis. I thought that I would probably continue to buy the the big ones, but I tried the minis just because I wanted to try some different colors, and I just love them. And I actually prefer using the round tool there as opposed to the rectangle one. It's smaller and it's just easier to maneuver, and I find it easier to blend more evenly. So I've been really happy with them. The color that I'm using there is Victorian Velvet, and it's just a really soft pink, almost like a dusty rose kind of color, but it's beautiful. It's a really nice color. And the other color I'm using there is Gathered Twigs. And so the two of them together blend really nice together. Something to be careful of when you're using that tool is, especially when you're using it up near the top or the bottom of the page, is when you're doing the circular motion, sometimes the page will lift, and you just have to really be careful and either hold it down with your other hand, or what I sometimes do instead is use an outward, sorry for the camera shaking there, the camera is attached to the table, so, but if you use an outward motion, that prevents the page from lifting and kind of catching underneath the tool. And if you're wondering about the art, the pink heart there, or the white heart on pink page there on the other side, that's actually a challenge that I did from the Bible Art Journaling Challenge, which is a Facebook group which was created by Rebecca Jones. And basically, she does a challenge each week. Oh, sorry for the camera shaking there, that's horrible. She does an art challenge each week, and she will pick a scripture and a different form of media for you to try in your Bible, and she'll do a demo video, And this was one of the earlier weeks, and I believe it was about by his stripes we're healed. And I just didn't put the lettering on the page like she did, but basically it's a sheet of vellum, and then the heart is with clear ink, Versamark ink, and then white embossing powder. And after you heat up the heat tool on it and have it, not powdery anymore, then you add gelatos. And I just spread them around with a baby wipe and then added the washi tape. So that's how I did that page. So as you can see now, I'm very, very carefully removing the letters. And this is why at the beginning I was saying, it's great to choose some letters that you don't mind getting a bit of paint on or a bit of ink on. So like I said, these letters were ones that I wasn't totally in love with, so I don't feel like you're wasting them. And you could probably still use them for something else. I do keep them, I don't throw them out. But as you can see, it's a great, just a different way of using the distress inks. And what I'm going to do now is get rid of the love fails, because obviously I don't want it to say love fails. I hope none of you were thinking that I made a mistake there. But I'm actually reaching for some letters right now to put never in there. I hope you knew that. I should have mentioned that earlier. And I also earlier just spread some of the distress ink over the section in 1 Corinthians 13 there, where it talks about love. So I'm just finishing up there, getting the letters on, and you can see the finished product. I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know if you would like to see more. Thanks.